Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here and to introduce my mentee, Lily. She has been amazing the whole time since I met her. She's very smart, very caring, empathetic, very, very responsible. I was not expecting her to accomplish this much of everything she did. Like at some point, I was like, we can stop here. But she wanted to like really have a very good project. And I'm sorry, I have my daughter on the background. Um, but anyway, to not make this longer, it was just a great experience. I learned a lot from her. I learned, so we did a project where we integrated her passion with AI and we built a website about that, like so we built a website that is going to help a lot of people, and you just can see how much she cares about others. You're going to see this project. I'm very, very proud of what she accomplished. And yeah, without further ado, I just want to introduce Lily, an amazing person, like very whole person too.
Thank you, Andrea. That was my mentor, and she works at Loyola University in New Orleans. Oh. Yeah, she works at Loyola University in New Orleans, and at the university she teaches about AI. She's originally from Colombia, and she enjoys yoga and hanging out with her family and pets. Um, and that's a picture of us on a Zoom call. So my project is like a charity catch-all for like charities in like the Middle East, North African region. So if you see that like MENA acronym, that's what that means. And so my the reason why I chose to do this project was because here at Menlo, I'm part of an affinity group for the Middle East and North Africa, actually with Dr. Arnberg that we saw at the beginning of the presentation. And sometimes we do bake sales and we donate the proceeds to a charity. And sometimes we don't know which charity to donate to. So I figured might as well have a website that just has like a list of all the reputable ones. And then also since my mentor was specializing in AI for the AI component of the website, I wanted to do like an AI powered quiz that like matches you to a charity. And so things that I learned were HTML, CSS, Python, Google Colab, and then GitHub, AI, and Google Cloud. Okay, so some points about my experience. Some of the highlights were basically just like getting around like really hard stages of debugging. So like the first time that so we're using Llama AI, which is like a free AI that you can like call from, and it's already like a language model, so you don't have to like train it yourself. And so when we first got its response to show up on the website, it was like a really big moment because it took us a while to do that. And so that was really good. And then also when I deployed my project to Google Cloud, which what that did was that anyone can like run it from their computers without needing to be connected to a code space. So like the problem before was like you would only be able to like interact with my website if you were like doing it off of my GitHub. So after I deployed it to Google Cloud, it allows everyone to interact with it. But the deployment was actually like really complicated. So, and it had little
No, no,
things.
put it back in the fridge. I just packed it to know the weight.
And so after I got that done, that was a really big thing for me. And then some lessons I learned were a lot of patience during debugging. Kind of like what Camille said, it's very hard to know like where the errors are coming from. And then I discovered Markdown formatting, which is like a way to structure your input to an AI so that it understands it better. And I had no idea about that before, but I thought it was interesting. And some challenges that I overcame were, like I said before, like really significant debugging challenge, just like hours of debugging. Um, and so yeah, it felt really good to get over that. Okay. So this is my demo. So I'm just like going to the link for it. This is the website. It basically has a bunch of questions and little buttons you can choose. And so the questions just like match you to a certain charity. So after you like fill in all the fields, it'll basically just pass it to the AI and the AI will just give you the thing. So we'll see that after I finish filling it out. So after you fill it out, you press get match. And for this time, it was actually taking a while because I don't know, I think the Wi-Fi was bad, but it'll get there. Yeah. Okay. So then I matched to this charity. And then here I'm going to show you that I can like go to the link for it. So just easy donation. It'll load eventually. Yeah. So then it goes to the link. And then I also just have like a list of like all the charities with all the info. So like even if like you match to a charity, you're like, oh, I want to see what the other options are, you can just look through them. They just have the name, the description, and the link. So yeah. And then the rest of this video is just me scrolling through all of them. And then yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, and just scroll up. So that was my demo, and then the link's on the top too. Okay, for code examples, so like Camille, I did it in, like for the website, I did JavaScript and CSS and HTML, but I chose the HTML file because one of the important things I learned about this project was just how all of those files interact with each other. So one thing that I was always curious about was like, if you have all these different files, like how do they know to like call from each other, and like what does that look like? And so I underlined the certain lines that you can like really see that. So the first one, you can see it referring to the CSS file. And so like this HTML file is really just like the bare bones of my website. You can see all of the like questions and buttons underneath, but the CSS folder really just like makes it look pretty and all the colors that you saw. So yeah, so then that line that I underlined really just shows how it pulls from that. And then at the bottom, the line that I highlighted was after you press the button, it goes to the JavaScript and actually like gets the AI response. So then I thought that this file did a good job of showing that, because like it's pretty easy to see that it's calling the JavaScript, and I thought that was interesting, just the way they interact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lily. That was amazing. It's hard to choose nonprofits sometimes. I'm
Yeah.
going to open up for questions.
I have a question for Lily on the Zoom. This is Smriti. Incredible job. I just have to say it's so cool to hear someone in high school talking about AI like this and like understanding these concepts on top of also working on your website and everything. That integration is so cool. I'm curious, like when you were working on the prompting aspect of it, what was it like to engage with a language model like that, and what did you find worked out well in terms of actually at the end of the day suggesting a charity?
Yeah, so I thought that, so okay, one of the reasons why I chose to work with a language model was because I felt like it made it really easy for me, because you know, it's so much work to like actually go through and train an AI and everything. And also if I wanted to like do the matching, I would have had to do like a lot of math to figure out like which charity matches. And so I chose to work with AI um, to ultimately make it easier for myself. But then I found that actually the integrating of the AI was really hard, and there was like a lot of challenges. But in terms of what worked for me, that markdown formatting was really helpful. I did a little experiment where I would like just prompt it in like regular just like English like strings, and it really just like had a lot more errors. So I thought that like learning how to put stuff in markdown made it a lot easier for this particular API. Um, and then yeah, and then also just like understanding what goes in each file, because most of the AI stuff I dealt with in the JavaScript file, but then I was running it from the Python file. And so I don't know, like just not mixing up like what goes where was also really important for me.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That's super cool. Thank you for the presentation and wonderful job. Really interesting application, I think, of AI, and such a cool tool that your school can use now and others as well.
Good one. Question. Quick question. I wanted to find out again. Maybe I missed it at the beginning. Really cool presentation. Loved it. And what was the choice around? How did you come to the decision of Llama versus maybe an open AI, which is more, well, again, more available? I know it's not free, but just wanted to understand how you came about the decision. Thanks, Kendall.
So to choose the specific Llama API versus like what you were talking about OpenAI, ultimately like the choice for me just came up to the fact that Llama is like free. And so they just like they give you like this really long API key. And so like the way that they do it is that it's free if you're like under a certain amount of usages. So there's like tokens where every time you like prompt it, it costs like a certain amount of tokens. And so my project is like such a small scale that I would never like exceed the amount of tokens for them to start like actually like making me pay, because you get like a certain amount every like week or month or something. But then if you used like ChatGPT AI or like OpenAI, I think that the tokens are a little different where maybe you get less or it was just more expensive. So then my mentor actually recommended Llama to me. And we worked with Llama because yeah, ultimately it was free. And so we had a good experience with it.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, for Llama, we didn't have to put a credit card.
Mhm.
So it was safer. Yes, in that way, like, yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hi, this is Ira, and I want to congratulate both the mentees and both the pairs, mentees and mentors. Really nice websites that look for helping people, so that's great. The one question I had for this presentation is, did you need to tweak anything as you were using the models, or was the performance in terms of precision pretty good off the bat?
Yeah, I would say that every time I've tested it, the only time I've gotten errors were really just like my bad, where I did the code wrong, and I like extracted the stuff wrong. But every time I've tested it and I've given it like, a certain amount of like I want a charity in healthcare or something, it's always matched like something correct. And it gives you kind of like I feel like if it's not like 100% healthcare, it'll give you something that's like one of the other options you've chosen. So I haven't run into any things where the AI actually did like a wrong response. So I thought that it's actually been really accurate, and I'm really impressed with that actually. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you, Lily.
Mhm.
Actually, I had a question more or a comment. I'm not sure whether did you have to deal with the concept of hallucinations while the search was going on, just to pull the thread that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, so I was already aware before this about hallucinations because just like ChatGPT and Gemini getting so popular. And I did know about it, and I was wondering if that was going to happen. In my experience with what I've done in my website, it hasn't, like, it's been perfect so far, the AI. So anything that I've really had to deal with in terms of like it not showing up or anything like that, that was just my code and figuring that out for myself. I think that everything on its part has been perfect, and it was really just learning how to like put that in a website that was the difficult part. But like, yeah, the AI itself was fine.
All right, thanks. Great work. Very cool.